Welcome back. We are still trucking along in our how to make our paper transformers video and learning Illustrator for anybody who's interested in learning Illustrator. So last we left, we were working on Brawl, the last of the transformers. So we're going to the last of the Combaticons that I'm creating. So we're going to flip this in order so that it has a white background and a white outline, and then I'm going to select everything. I'm actually going to object group it. That way it's one particular object that I've created. I'm going to make another one. I'm going to make another one, and then I'm going to place them right here. Now what I could do is I could make it bigger, and I am going to make it bigger. I'm going to look at where it goes, and I'm going to expand it. No, I'm going to hold shift and I'm going to expand it so that way it fits in there. And I'm going to move that up a little bit. And there we go. We've got that going on. Now what I could do with the outside of the arm is I could do a 1 point, and I could do, let's see if we have something else. We don't. I could do a dotted line. Nah, just leave it. Just leave it. That way it makes it easier for you to cut. So then there we go. So we're gonna hold Alt. There we go. We make another one. We're gonna hold Alt, and then we're gonna drag, and then we make another one. Then we're gonna hold Alt. We're gonna drag. We're gonna make another one. Now that one's not gonna fit in there. So we're gonna fidget, finagle, move it up a little bit more. 1, 2, move it up a little bit more. 1, 2, 3, move it up a little bit more. And then scroll down, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go, butt it up against it, like a Badinsky. And then it's still not to our liking. So let's pull this out a little bit. Why not? Why not, I say? Why not? So there we go. So now we've got the arm for Brawl. So now we're going to go to Object, Group, and then I'm going to move this up a little bit so that way it's got like that. Now you're thinking to yourself, what about the hands? What about the hands? We can still put the hands in there. And I'm going to put them right smack in the middle of the wheel because I'll roll like that. So we're going to take that out, and then we're going to make a finger, one finger, and then we're going to make another finger. There we go. We can make, and then we're going to hold Alt and make another finger. Sometimes I forget to hold Alt, but so now you're thinking to yourself, it doesn't fit in there. So let's make them. Let's delete them, and let's make them round tools. Let's see how that works out. And it's always about experimentation, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't. So we're going to hold that, and we're going to move this over right here. So there we go. So we're going to move this right there. We're going to move this right there. So now we've got two fingers right in there. It looks like a little choo-choo train thing going on. And then we've got this, and then we've got, there we go. And then we've got that. And then I'm going to line them up to the top, and then I'll move them down a little bit, move them back up. Sometimes you have to move them literally with the mouse because, you know, it's just easier that way. There we go. Now we've got the two fingers going on right there for the tank mode. Now he is gray. He's not gray, he is green. So cancel. I'm going to have to object ungroup all of this because I want this outside to be this greenish color, this army green color that he's got going on right here. And I want the outside to be this army green color because that's his color. So we're going to take this, and this is a pretty much done arm. We're going to hold Alt. We're going to move it on to the other side, and there we go. Now it's not centered, but what do? You wait, but we forgot to do something. We forgot to group it back up again because we have to group it in order to so that way they can work together. So we've got that. We move it over here. We select this right here, and then we go to the top, and there we go. We've got our tank, somewhat tank mode that we've got going on. Now we're going to go back and we're going to look at how he looks, the design and everything. So we are going to make the legs. So we're going to go back to the rectangle tool. Legs are very simple. We're going to make one leg, and then we're going to make a trapezoid. Because this particular robot, in order to make that trapezoid, he's got a shape in the back that is something like that. So now you're thinking to yourself, that doesn't look right as a foot. I'm like, well, I don't care. That's how I roll. So we're going to go ahead and align it like that. And it's going to look a little funky, but I'm okay with it. So there we go. He's got going on like that. Maybe we're going to make the foot a little bit bigger. That way so he can actually stand up. So even though he won't be standing up because he's a piece of paper. So there we got it. So now we've got that going on. So when you flip this, when you fold this, this should align to the other side. Now what we want to do is we want to make sure that it aligns to the other side. So what we're going to do is we're going to delete this, but we're just going to use it to make sure that it aligns. So transform, reflect. We're going to flip that over. There we go. And I wish there was a tool that would butt them up against it. This object group, let's just object group it, object group, because I can fiddle with it. So what are we doing? So what we're doing is we need to align these to the edge. Let's see. Oh, nope, not like that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to move it over here, and I'm going to move this over here, and then I'm going to move this one away for a second, and then I'm going to pull this. See how far that goes. We'll maybe pull it in a little bit. Then I'm going to make another copy. Object, transform, reflect. So then I'm going to see how that works. How does that work with it? Does that work? I'm going to go ahead and say it kind of does, but it does not, because look at the top, it's not completely aligned. And this has to... Now, there's got to be a better way to figure this out. And I'm sure that you guys and ladies are very creative, so I'm sure that you can figure it out. But we're going to delete that. And then, so we're going to have to pull this in a little bit more. And notice that when you copy it, it's going to be twice as much. So arrange, transform, reflect, flip it to the side, flip it to the side, and then we've got that going on right there. So now we've got somewhat reasonable of what we want. Not really. I mean, look at it. Look at it. You know what's going on over here. So how do we finagle this? So first we gotta get these two shapes to be together. So first we gotta get them to be together. So then we need this shape. Now you know what? Let's group all of this together. Let's group all of this together. Group. So that way we can. And then so now we're gonna group object group. And now what we're gonna do is we're going to not you. Get out of here. Get out of here. I'll use you later. Don't worry. So we're going to select this, and we're going to select this, and we're going to align it center, and then there we go. And then now, with a few little clicks, voila! See, now you've got somewhat of what I was going after. There we go. Now we could move it one more click up, one more click down. Let's leave it click down. So there we go. So when you fold these legs, this is going to be in the back, and there we go. So that's that. But we're not going to I want to delete this, but I can't because that's one shape now.